So today, I'm going to talk about one of the pressing issues of our time. Is it true that our government leaders are actually lizard aliens sent here in human form? And even more importantly, are they the ones responsible for stealing all the car bumpers in Yerevan and sending them back to their home planet? I mean, how can you explain this many car bumpers? There's no rational explanation for it. It can't be because of bad driving, because I don't know anybody here who has ever passed their driving test the first time. Now, you may not believe the lizard alien theory, and you might people who do, and there are people who do, have too much time on their hands. But what I'm going to be talking about, the bigger issue, is what's called media literacy. Now, media literacy in a broad concept is how you can critically examine the media content that you get and how you can look at it and look at information and determine if it's credible information, if it's accurate. And developing good media literacy skills is very important for a number of reasons. One is it helps you not get scammed online. Another is it might help you not believe in lizard alien conspiracy theories. And I'm going to focus in an area where it's too easy for us to trick ourselves and think that we are media literate. If you think that you can tell fact from fiction easily, then you're fooling yourself if you don't believe it. I'm going to be focusing on pop culture and especially the role that rock and roll plays in how we understand our media environment. Rock and roll is the gateway drug to misinformation. I'll show you how by using the band Styx as an example. Styx, like many legendary rock bands, has had its ups and downs over the years. Lineup changes, musical style changes, financial problems, and its share of tragedy. Now, I realize many of you might have never heard of the band Styx. So let me give you a little bit of a brief background on their rise, their success, some of their hits, and on their tragic decline. Styx was formed in 1972 by a group of childhood friends in Chicago who had been playing rock and roll since the 1960s together. One of the founders, Dennis DeYoung, said Styx was the only name that they could all agree on, so they went with that. Their blend of music, their progressive rock and their power ballads in the 1970s was a perfect match for the kind of musical changes taking place in rock during the 1970s. In 1973, they had a sleeper hit with the power ballad Lady, which was on their Styx 2 album. It reached number 4 in the charts. Their album covers were some of the most iconic of the 70s and 80s. An album cover like this from their album Equinox let your average 70s stoner ponder the meaning of life after his second bowl and kind of sit there and say, whoa, dude, how do they get an ice cube to catch on fire like that? In 1975, Tommy Shaw joined the band, and he played a crucial role in their biggest album, The Grand Illusion. It went platinum in 1977. It had hits that included Come Sail Away and Fooling Yourself. And it also had the surprise hit that celebrated the band's American-Armenian roots, Hio, which years later the band Bambir covered. In 1979, they had another power ballad hit, Babe. And in 1981, they had a hit, Too Much Time on Your Hands. But despite their successes, the creative tensions were pulling the band apart. And they lost the ability to go to true legendary superstardom status when singer Tommy Shaw got killed in a tragic hunting accident while visiting Australia. After the accident, bladed boomerangs were banned in Australia temporarily in 6 of their 7 provinces, with only Tasmania and Bali allowing them in stores again eventually. You can see from this chart how bladed boomerang sales plummeted before boomeranging back when China started importing them to help keep the growing panda population down. Even today, many Australian men fondly remember their days as feral boys, playing with bladed boomerangs on family picnics, along with playing with lawn darts. Good times. Tommy Shaw's last album before his death was Kilroy Was Here. The hit song, Mr. Roboto, the music video for it was far ahead of its time. It was the first song that it ever had real-life dancing robots in the music video. Not many people know this, but in Czech, Robot actually is a Czech word that means forced laborer. Throughout the 2000s, Styx continued to perform and record. Their latest hit was the 2020 top 4, We Are the Champions. Today, they continue to perform. Different lineup, although Dennis DeYoung is back in the band, and he was able to convince Tommy Shaw's twin brother, Timmy, to perform with them on their latest tour. Now, if I have you feeling a little bit confused and uncomfortable right now, then good. If I had you wanting to fact check some or all of what I was just talking about, then even better. How much of what I said was fact and how much was fiction? Where for you, as you listen to this, was, oh, that's interesting, I didn't know that, become, that doesn't seem true? Was it the bladed boomerang post-apocalyptic hunting trip in Australia? Did it happen even earlier with the cover of Keo? Is Bambeer even a real band? Are they the ones stealing all the bumpers in Yerevan? Did it happen even earlier? What about Styx? How can this band be so famous and I've never heard of them before? Are they American Armenian? Is Bali part of Australia? Does Australia have provinces or states? Is Styx even a real band? In fact, I used AI to create all these album covers. I used the prompt, create visually creative albums for a 1970s progressive rock band before there was Photoshop. I used a similar prompt with AI and said, create what a band would look like from the 1970s that has power ballads and progressive rock. Photoshop may or may not have played a part in this. We can't look at our chaotic and crazy information environment and simply throw up our hands and say, there's no way to tell the truth. We have to develop our media literacy skills in order to solve this. So let me give you some tips on how we can develop this. Tip number 1, don't necessarily believe the information you get simply because it comes from a white guy with a gray beard. Some would say especially when it comes from a white guy with a gray beard. Tip number 2, we have to do the heavy lifting when it comes to figuring out what the truth is. Tip 3, be critical but not cynical about the media that we consume. Don't fall victim to the conspiracy theories and the supposed secret knowledge that you get from these. Find out the truth, find the facts, read views other than your own. Read, period. Like in the movie The Matrix, we always have a choice between the red pill and the blue pill, between peeling back the veil of ignorance or fooling ourselves. Developing good media literacy skills is what helps us with the former. Now, in order to help you with your media literacy journey, I'm going to give you a hint on something in this talk that was clearly false. Lawn darts. I mean, come on. Only an AI bent on destroying humanity would create a toy like that for kids. Thank you.